In this section, we will be talking about labor markets. In summary, we will be going into demand and supply of labor, which includes what determines quality and price of labor. We will also be talking about wage distribution, which includes unemployment and discrimination. Furthermore, political philosophies on inequality and poverty are another topic we will be discussing, including public policies and determinants of productivity and economic growth. Demand can be calculated by multiplying price times marginal product for labor. Labor can be described as a factor of production, and in turn, factors of production can be described as derived demands, which are goods supplied to other markets. There are three causes for shifts in the demand curve. Number one, output price. For example, increases in prices cause increased value of marginal product per worker, which result in an increase in worker demand. Number two, technological change, which increase a firm's quantity of output. Number three, supply of other factors of production. In addition, the supply curve for labor is affected by utility of work versus free time, and it's influenced or shifted by preference, opportunities, and immigration.
Some determinants for the wages of workers are human capital, which is the accumulation of investment in people, the worker's ability, the worker's effort, and chance and beauty. Some firms may pay high wages to increase the productivity of its workers, which can reduce worker turnover, increase worker effort, increase worker health, and raise the quality of workers who apply for jobs. Also, education is productivity enhancing and productivity revealing.
In this slide, we can observe how binding minimum wage or binding maximum wage can affect the demand and supply for labor. When minimum wage goes up, less people are hired. Therefore, when binding minimum wage goes above the equilibrium point, it will lead to a surplus of labor. On the other hand, a minimum wage below the equilibrium wage will lead to a shortage. We also have to have into account that minimum wage below the equilibrium point or a maximum wage above the equilibrium point will not bind, and therefore we will not find examples of those. When studying labor markets, unemployment is an important element that we must have into account. To measure it, we need to know that labor force is the total number of workers, both employed and unemployed. With labor force, we can calculate the unemployment rate, which is the percentage of the labor force which is unemployed, and also the labor force participation rate, which is the percentage of adults in the labor force. Also, we know that unemployment never reaches zero mainly because of two reasons. Frictional unemployment, which occurs due to the time it takes workers to find a suitable job for their proficiency or preference. And secondly, due to structural unemployment, which is unemployment caused by a shortage of jobs. We need to also consider how discrimination and inequality affect labor markets and positive economics. Discrimination is the offering of different opportunities to equally competent individuals due to differences such as race, gender, ethnic groups, or other characteristics. Usually, businesses that only focus on making a profit will have an advantage over discriminating companies. When it comes to inequality, it's the free market allocate resources in manner that maximizes total surplus, but it does not necessarily mean an equal distribution. We can also find a strong correlation between poverty and elements such as race, age, and other characteristics, like the presence of a father in the family.
Hey man, do you have any particular philosophies on distribution of income?
Yes, as a utilitarianist, I believe that the government should maximize the utility for everyone and redistribute money from the rich to the poor.
Thank you for your opinion.
Thank you.
What are you, sir? What are your political philosophies on income distribution?
I believe government policies should be just and fair, and I also believe that they should maximize welfare for those with a minimum standard of living. What about you?
Me? Well, I believe in libertarianism. I believe that the government shouldn't take from some to give to others to achieve any particular type of distribution. I believe we should ensure individual rights so that we can all have equal opportunity.
Decrease the levels of poverty. The government sets certain policies, such as minimum wage laws, which increases the wages of earners, but however, it might increase a firm's cost and therefore reduce demand for labor. Another policy is welfare, which maximizes the welfare of those with the minimum standard of living. We can also find other policies like negative income tax, in-kind transfers such as food stamps and Medicaid, and anti-poverty programs and work incentives. Studying labor markets has shown a strong correlation between an economy's productivity and its ability to grow. However, what policies could the government implement to stimulate economic growth?